They told me never to enter that hospital. Everyone in town said the place was cursed, abandoned after a fire in the 1980s. But when I took the night guard job, I thought it was just local gossip. The first night, I heard the intercom switch on by itself, and a voice whispered my name. That was when I realized I wasn't alone. I grew up in Hollow Pines, a small, forgotten town in the Midwest. Most people moved out years ago after the local mill shut down. What was left was a dying town with crumbling buildings, a bar that smelled like stale beer, and one thing everyone avoided talking about: the old Hollow Pines Hospital. The hospital had been shut down since 1987 after a fire that killed dozens of patients. No one rebuilt it. No one tore it down either. It just stood there, a hulking shadow of brick and broken windows on the edge of town. Kids dared each other to sneak inside, but adults, they avoided it completely. When I saw the flyer for a night guard needed, good pay, apply immediately, I thought someone was joking. But rent was overdue, and my options were gone. I called the number, and the voice on the other end simply said, "Show up at 10. Don't be late." When I arrived, a man in a suit, too clean, too sharp for this ghost town, was waiting for me at the gates. He didn't introduce himself. He just handed me a folder with rules typed in bold black letters. Never leave your post between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m. If you hear footsteps in the West Wing, ignore them. If the intercom crackles on, do not respond. Do not, under any circumstances, look into room 6A. The man's eyes lingered on me, cold and unblinking. "If you break the rules, you won't survive the night," he said flatly, then walked into the dark without another word. That was the beginning of the longest night of my life. Inside, the hospital felt alive. The air was stale, but heavy. The kind of heavy that presses on your chest, making every breath a struggle. My flashlight beam cut across empty gurneys, overturned wheelchairs, and peeling paint. At 11:47 p.m., I heard the first sound. A shuffle, software like slippers on linoleum. I froze, reminding myself, ignore footsteps in the West Wing. But the sound grew louder, closer, until it stopped just beyond my beam of light. My heart pounded so loud I thought it would echo through the halls. At 12:15, the old intercom crackled to life. A high-pitched whine first, then static, then, "Hello?" It was a woman's voice, faint, fragile. "Is anyone there? Please, and help me." My skin turned ice. The rule. Rule number 3, do not respond. I clutched the folder so hard the paper wrinkled. Every part of me wanted to say something, to answer. But my throat locked. The voice grew desperate. "They locked me in. It's burning. Please, please, open the door." Then it cut. Dead silence. Around 2:30, my flashlight flickered and died. Panic set in as the hospital was swallowed in pitch darkness. I fumbled for my backup when I realized I was standing in front of a door. The rusted sign read, "Room 6A." The rules screamed in my head, "Never look inside." But the door handle was cold, too cold. And from the other side, a soft knock echoed. 3 knocks, slow, deliberate. I backed away, shaking, when the door creaked open on its own. Inside was a room charred black with soot, and in the corner, someone sat, head down, motionless. When they lifted their head, their face was melted, skin dripping like wax. Their mouth stretched unnaturally wide as they whispered, "You're late." The rest of the night blurred into a waking nightmare. Shadow figures crawled on ceilings. The intercom screamed my name. Doors slammed shut behind me when no one was there. At 4:01 a.m., everything stopped. Silence fell. The hospital went still again. When I staggered out into the morning light, the man in the suit was waiting at the gate. He didn't ask how it went. He didn't ask if I saw anything. He just said, "Good, you survived. See you tomorrow night." I quit the job the next day. Or at least I tried to. The number I called before? It doesn't exist. The flyer? Gone from the bar. And yet every night since, at exactly 12:15, my phone crackles to life. A woman's voice whispers from the speaker, "Please, help me. I should have left that night. I should have walked away from that cursed hospital and never looked back. But curiosity has a way of killing people like me. The deeper I went, the less the building felt abandoned. The walls began to sweat, dripping like they were alive. The smell of rust turned into the smell of blood. Every hallway echoed with faint cries, like children calling for help, but always just out of reach. I tried to run, but the hallways shifted. No matter which turn I took, I ended up back at the same place, a locked operating room. The door rattled from the inside, something pounding, begging to get out. And then, the door handle started to turn, slowly. I backed away, heart hammering, when the overhead lights flickered on. For just 1 second, I saw the thing inside through the small window. It wasn't a person. It wasn't even human. It was a mass of faces, stitched together, all screaming in unison. The door burst open, and the smell of decay rolled out. I ran. I ran like my life depended on it, because it did. Every hallway chased me. Every light flickered. Every shadow followed. Finally, I burst out through the hospital's front doors. Cold night air hit my face, and I swore I was safe. I looked back. The hospital was gone. Just an empty lot stood where I had been. I thought it was over. But the next morning, I woke up in a hospital bed. White walls, the sound of machines beeping. I wasn't home. I wasn't safe. I was still inside. And this time, I don't think I'll ever find the exit.